Yep, early morning. I started around 7. I got the skulls cleaned and I had to take a break. Oh, it's so good. Oh, so we were talking about heritages and such last night on AK Twin Mommy's stream. And I was provided with a family lineage search from my brother-in-law. Does it part-time, I guess, as an investigation thing. The first thing you notice is, hey, Seward, I have a lot of pain in my history. Payne. Our lineage, my last name is spelled the way my screen is. However, my family's actual last name is Acklen. And I come to find out, my brother-in-law is an African American, and he says, look, they spell your name like you were black. Apparently, En was white, In was black. And then they put In on my dad's birth certificate. While I'm in the middle of the cage cleaning, I got the skulls have all been washed and disinfected. The food dish. Yeah, my brother-in-law James did a family tree for both of my mom and dad and came up with some royalty back in the day. Kind of funny. We do have some pictures back to Franklin County, Tennessee, 1883. There are pictures of my dad's lineage. I didn't think there were pictures back then. But, I guess. Oh, yeah. Not one smile in the whole group. That was considered bad back then to smile to the camera. You were insulting whoever's looking at you. But I said I'd go live this morning and show them. I couldn't stand up very well, so I didn't do it live till I had the rough part done. I think the last live stream I was in was till 2 a.m. here. So they're still at 5 or 6 in the morning out there in Alaska. Strong coffee and strong cigarettes. What a breakfast. I couldn't eat, not and do all this activity, it made me sick. But I gotta pull the canopy down, spray, wash the whole inside walls. I did the bottom, but I gotta do the walls yet. I told them I'd tell a family joke in my stream too. But the Acklins go back to 1750. Oh, 1715. When they came over to America, I guess. I'll have to do a little more reading on where they were at. But the last name Paine is famous, and we're not related to Thomas Paine. It's another Paine. That would be on my mom's side. I never met either of my two real grandfathers. I did get lucky to have a step-grandfather, John Skirkus. He was an awesome fisherman. When I was preteen, he took me fishing every time he went, no matter how much trouble I was. But I do have my family lineage to read through today again. I just, yeah, there's a lot of pains, so to speak. Powell, I think, was the other side on hers. I had two Aunt Mint, what do you call them? Never got married, lived together their whole life. That were, their last name was Bat. That was part of the mom's family. Oh, should look and see what that was. What that guy's name was. Now they can trace back John Payne over in Europe back to 1616. And I found my grandpa's name. I had never heard it. No one had ever spoken it. His name was James. Born in 1914. Some of these copies of the printouts and stuff that he gave me were written in the 1800s, or, well, it'd be 1900s. They're kind of hard to read. Oh, 1916. Your dad was born in 1916? Wow. Are you sure? Yeah, I guess 2016 would be 100 years old. I guess that's definitely possible. We settled in Deckard, Tennessee for a while after Augusta. My great-grandfather was a full-blooded Irishman. I came over the pond and married a American Indian Sioux. Hey, Joe, cool. Boy, the things that your dad lived through then, Stuart, are amazing. That would have been around the time close. He would have been really young for the First World War, but I'm sure that he knew the Second World War intimately. Yeah, Joe, we're in the middle of cleaning a dragon dung. We were talking about heritage and stuff last night in AK Twins mommy's stream, so I pulled out my lineage I got when Nuckin and I were up in Frankfurt. My brother-in-law gave me a copy that he had made. Found out that we have one famous person named Payne, last name Payne. I was hoping it was Thomas Paine, but it's not. That would have been cute. So I had an Irish great-grandfather and a Sioux Indian great-grandmother. I did get to meet her. She was already in her late 80s, and then I met her again. She was in her 90s. Her Indian name translated to Wandering Bee, but her legal name was given to her as Elizabeth. Sicily? Awesome, Seward. That's, I go back and forth on war being a good, bad thing, but the people that served, they sacrificed a lot. Even just the mental challenge of dealing with what you have to see of other human beings. Yes, Father. My uncle served in Nam, and yeah, he didn't come back the same as he left. You got to spend some time with your brother soon? I used to get to spend a lot of time with my brother after I was disabled and he was disabled, but then we both moved, and that hour trip is more than I can make. And he refuses to drive anymore. Well, you must have came along late in life then, Seward, because I know you can't be much older than me. I mean, I was born in '61. You did a short video. I'll have to check it out. Coffee time. Joe drinking coffee. How redundant. 62. I thought that you were a year younger than me. That'd be almost like us having a kid now. I mean, God, that put me in the grave. I mean, I did good raising three, and then I got to nanny my three grandkids. But now we got to take care of each other when they're here. You think a kid wants to get up and get something for grandpa? Grandpa, get it yourself. And get me something while you're at it. I love that reflection I get from the end of the screen where you can see two dragons. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get up and finish my coffee here and get up and get some more and get some food so he can eat when I get his cage back together. I swear I had a hangover all day yesterday from watching him drink. 7 grandchildren. Oh, I'm likely to have more. My son just got married this year, so she comes from a big family that has lots of kids. So likely he'll have some kids. My oldest daughter can't have children, so she just has dogs. I got a whole slew of nieces and nephews and a couple, 3 great grandnephews and nieces. Most of them live up on this the Pinky up there in the Michigan. One of them just had a birthday party. He had a bubble party. My family's kind of weird. We're into blowing bubbles. My mom blows bubbles almost every day. She sits outside her little apartment right next to Lake Michigan. People walk down every night to watch the sunset in the summer, and she sets out and blows bubbles. And this year is pretty cool because I got her some bubble blowers that are larger wands, so they blow a foot bubble, 2-foot bubbles. Then I have a couple of recipes I gave her to make them strong enough to stick around a while. A little cornstarch, a few other things. Then it makes them really colorful. I have a couple of videos up. I really like it. I went through a couple gallons of bubbles last summer that I watched my grandkids at their house every day. They even chalked my pad out on the side of the trailer, Chalk America. Did a short video on that. I try and get them out and do things that are not sitting there watching a phone with a game on it, or they live on YouTube. Roll a couple cigarettes while I'm giving my back a rest. I avoided breakfast so I could stand up long enough to get that cage clean. But I didn't want to share that with you guys. It's just too painful. Oh, I did say I was going to tell a family joke too. I'll wait till Joe gets back. It's not family friendly, but it is a family joke. And I'm still trying to get my niece to video the bears that keep taking the chickens out of her chicken coop. She's got a couple still shots of them. There were triplets. They're last year's triplets, so they're pretty good size. Keep tearing into her chicken coop and eating chickens. They lost their rooster last time. But there's this huge swamp behind the house that Grandma used to own that has some berry bush. It's not juniper, but it's probably over 200 acres of it. It's just bush of berries. And bears really like that area. When they shot what they thought was the last bear in the lower peninsula, my grandma's neighbor shot it in her backyard. But now there are lots of bears up in northern Michigan, in the lower peninsula. Where I meandered through the swamp and creeks and ponds, now you go through there, there's bear scat, bear scrapings on the trees. Not sure as a kid I'd be running around there anymore. Hey Drew, good to see you. Yeah, I got part way done. I'd really like to wash the glass, but I don't think I can stand up long enough to do a good job. I'll try and do it another day. It's just been so long since I scrubbed all the skulls and everything off. Yeah, Seward, I live about 4 miles off of Lake Michigan. If you look at Michigan like a palm or like a mitten, I'm over there by the trunk of the left pinky there. We, Ottawa County, live in a big oak forest with a bunch of trailers parked in it. Alright, Drew, well thanks for stopping in. I got a couple more of your tortoise videos on my watch list for today. Monday's not usually a early crop watch audit day. Downloads. So I usually get in a couple hours of Safari Live or haven't been watching the fishing videos this year though because I can't fish. Yeah, you gotta use a reptile disinfectant. They have their own different kinds of bacteria. Here in a minute I'll go get him his food and finish the cleaning out in the kitchen of the mess that I make. Disinfect and bleach the sink. And come back and put it together and feed him. Really wish I still had access and worked at the furniture factory, because I built some awesome cages for my birds and other animals. Yeah, well, happy anniversary. Appreciate the old lady giving you permission to come on and hang out. Do something special for her. All right. Y'all be safe. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, it's starting to get cool in here. Oh. Well, we'll wait around a little bit, see if anybody comes in. Oh, Reptar, what are we going to do with you? Damn it, my migraine's coming back. Reptar. If you weren't so beautiful. You know what? You don't. You're awful lazy today. I literally just picked him up, put him in the cupboard or drawer, shut the drawer, did what I had to do, opened the drawer, picked him up, set him back on there, and went right back to his spot and sat back down. No big deal. He's not eyeing the food dish because there's no food dish, so take a long time to make coffee, Joe. Take my thermos back to the kitchen and refill it. Get some food, bleach the sink, let the bleach set for a while. Oh, here we go. All right, I'll be right back. Oh. Stand up. Okay, back in the room. See what we can do here. Alright, since nobody's came in and chatted, so I guess we'll keep going. I gotta refill my little package. Trying to trip over the cords. Okay. Alright, we got him fed. This is the part of the lettuce I don't feed him. Grandkids used to just hold it in there and he'd strip off both sides. I'm not quite that patient. There's a little calcium sprinkled on his lettuce. I don't know if I can get you a good shot of it or not. Or you can see the light. Yeah, you can kind of see the light isn't great for it. Oh. Oh. I use a belt to be able to walk. Oh, take that baby off. Whew. Well, starting to hear the trash cans bounce around. Must be the trash coming through. Usual Monday morning bang. Oh. You gonna eat today, Reptar? After I monkeyed with you? Reptar, Ben. Without that cover on, he can actually jump right out if he wanted. I caught him twice on balancing on the top of the edge of the aquarium trying to jump on the floor. I can't wait till Roadhog sends me 3 more skulls. You're going to have to do something to get a bigger audience, Reptar. Maybe move a little. Maybe people would watch you if you were a little more active. I mean, if you got enough to monetize yourself, you could buy your own food. Don't you want to eat? Where's the trash truck? You did get. I never made coffee. Well, I went up and refilled my small thermos and got him some food. We got some romaine lettuce with a little calcium powder and some mealworms. And I promised the family joke, so while you're in here, Joe, I'll tell it. Went to Sunday brunch one day, and there were three generations of ladies sitting at the one table, and the daughter, youngest generation, looked at the mom and was complaining between bites of food that some guy only wanted to pay $20 for a blowjob. And the mom scoffed and said, "I only got $5 for blowjobs back in the day." Grandma's busy eating her oatmeal, looks up and says, "In my day, we were just glad to have something warm in our belly." Family joke, just not family friendly. I always think of that joke every time I hear in this day and age. I can't help it. Monday morning trash. The neighborhood is the best it ever is. Monday afternoon, they clear all the trash out, so to speak. You're not going to eat this morning either, are you? It's hard to tell. He goes from not doing anything to flicking his eye a little bit at the food. And if it was live, he couldn't help himself. But without motion, he doesn't have the trigger. Though they do eat mostly vegetables in the wild. Yeah, I'm looking right at you. Somebody had asked about my webcam. It's a really cheap Logitech, and it's like 15 years old. Reptar, been Trying to put the lid on before you jump out. Well, I guess I'll succumb to my desires to smoke a bowl. At least a quarter of a bowl. Trying to stretch out 2 days worth of wheat a week. Well, luckily I have enough built up in my system. Here it is. Well, after 10 years of growing your own, it's hard to get wheat from somebody else. I knew where the seeds came from that I bought from Europe, and I knew what went into growing them. Well, maybe I'll give him some time. If he decides to eat, I'll come back on another live stream. Maybe somebody will get some notices. But thanks for everybody that came in. Anybody who watches later and leaves a comment, thank you. And I guess we gone.